What's going on YouTube? Matt from GarageMC here. Guys, today we're going to do another how-to video, just something real simple and quick. Don't worry, if you're following the channel, the 465EX is still sitting here. I'm waiting on a couple parts to come in so I can finish building the engine and we can keep rolling on that. But while we're waiting for those to come in, the show must go on. So today we're going to do a simple how-to on the flip quad that I bought, the 06 TRX 250EX. If you guys didn't see the video on the how to buy and sell quads tips, be sure to check that out. It was the video that came out just before this. But in this one, let's talk about this stuff. Stay tuned. Alright, so on that quad, guys, all the plastics are in good shape. It's a flip, so I'm not going to buy new plastics for it. But the rear fenders, this is the only defect with all the plastics on the whole quad. It's got this crack here. You know, I like I said in my other video, guys, when I sell this quad, I want to put out a decent product. I don't want to give somebody slapped together garbage. You know what I mean? So we're going to do everything the right way. Obviously, buying new rear fenders would be the right way, but like I said, it's a flip, and we're going for profit on this. So a lot of DIY. Be prepared for quite a few videos in the next, like, you know, week to 10 days as what I need for that comes in finally. You know, there's a couple other little things we're going to do on there. Like, I'm going to do a how-to on how to change the rear differential oil. That'll be the next video on the 250EX. That'll be another quick video. But let's get this out of the way, man. Some of you guys probably seen other people that have cracked plastics. They'll drill a bunch of holes and run zip ties through it and stitch it, or use plastic stitching. I don't like the way that stuff looks, guys. I'd almost rather just leave it cracked than do that. Even though I'm just selling this quad, you know, I want it to be presentable and fixed to the best of my abilities anyway. So, what we are going to use in this video, I pulled it out. Where the hell is it? Here we go. We're going to use this, guys. You can get one of these on eBay. It's a hot staple gun. So, I'm going to, in this video, show you how to prep it and get ready to put some hot staples in it, and will have all of its structural integrity back. So let me set up something on a table here, a little bench, and we'll get going on this. It's pretty simple. These are cheap too, right on eBay. I'll have a price for you in the video before the video ends in case you're in the market to get something like this. I use it all the time. Let's talk about what comes in this little kit, guys. It's called plastic welding gun. Comes in this little case. So in here you get some dikes. You get the gun, obviously, and it comes with a bunch of different shaped hot staples as well. So how this thing works is you'd pull one of these staples out, and I'll show you guys obviously when we get over there. They have two prongs on them. The two prongs get slid into each of these little holes down here, and then you just squeeze the trigger when you have it where you want it and positioned, and send it home. You want to melt it in enough to where it has enough of a bite, but you don't want to push it all the way through the plastics. If you go too deep, you'll see like whatever the shape of whatever staple you use, like burned into the other side of the plastics. So before we use this, what you'll want to do is, and I've already done this, you want to go ahead and scrub the plastics down real good, get it all nice and clean, you know, on the side that you see and the inside as well. Yes, I could have cleaned it a little bit better, but, you know, what I used to clean the plastics is what I use on everything, guys. These people should sponsor me by now. I should have a sponsorship from LA's Totally Awesome Degreaser. You can get it at the dollar store, or $1.25 store now. It's no longer $1, you know, inflation. This stuff here, guys. This stuff is great. It works good on plastics, graphics, paint, wheels, tires, anything you spray it on, it cleans it. And unlike a simple green or a purple power or something like that, that stuff will actually etch the surface of the aluminum if you spray this stuff on aluminum, and it'll turn like shiny aluminum into dull aluminum. Well, simple green and purple power will. This, it probably will if you leave it on long enough, but it's pretty gentle on everything, and it does a damn good job, and it's cheap. I go through a ton of that stuff here, guys. So, you know, all my quads, and when I go riding, I wash everything right after I ride it. But, alright, I'm going to put this thing up on a bench, and I'll show you guys the procedure I go through and how good this stuff works. So, when you're about to start doing the hot stapling, guys, you want to mess around with the plastics first. Make sure you can get them like to, obviously if you're missing a chunk of plastic, you know, you're still going to be missing a piece. It doesn't produce missing pieces. This little staple gun thing here, hot stapler, you want to see, you want to have like a plan on how you're going to start putting the hot staples in. Like, you know, pick what will assist it in going back in its own shape. You can see, like, if I put these two pieces together up here by my hand, that, yeah, it'll hold it together, but then we're like off over here, you know, you got a little gap there. So I'm going to start at the end of the crack. So I'm going to get these two pieces together just like that. They fit right back together. So I'm going to start obviously on the underside, but behind right in this section here, and then we'll determine where the next one will go to assist us in getting this to fit back together, kind of like a puzzle piece. So let me get the tripod out and start doing this. So before we get started hot stapling this fender back together, guys, here's a couple different shaped staples that come with the kit. And like I said, I'll look up a eBay listing and put it across the screen here so you guys can see what you're looking for if you're going to type this in and find one of these. I'm pretty sure it's pretty self-explanatory. You just type in hot stapler or plastic welding gun. That's pretty much it, but I'll still edit a picture here across the screen right now, kind of where my hand is. See, I'm holding it. Yeah, there it is. Anyway, we're going to go with this one here, guys. These two prongs go in the gun, like I said, like the one I'm holding and the one to the right of the screen right now. I think these ones provide the most structural rigidity to the part that we're going to repair over, like these styles here. There's a couple other ones, but they're mainly like that. If you guys are in the market for one of these staple guns, hot stapler, plastic welding gun, whatever you want to call it, see if you can find one with a bunch of these over these. I'm sure they all have their own, you know, specific uses, but these are pretty much the only ones I use out of this kit. So enough talking. Let me get you guys on the tripod here and we'll start cracking this out, or uncracking this out. Yeah, no pun intended. So this is the back side of where I said I was going to start. So this is like the end of the crack right here. So the hot stapler, the end of the prongs here like this, you just take the two and make sure your finger's not on the trigger of this thing, because this will burn the ever-loving shit out of your fingers so fast you won't even feel it because it'll be so hot, and then you will feel it, and then you'll be like, what the fuck? Anyway, all right, so you want to get this lined up. So when I'm putting these in, guys, I like to start, like, if you're looking at this staple that I showed you, obviously where the prongs are is the center line of it. You want the center line of this to be where the crack is, at least in my mind. So I'll start off center, kind of like this, and then I will push it into the plastic or even twist it a little bit just to kind of bury it in there. So I got my finger and my hand on the other side holding it so the plastic is, you know, flat and lined up together. And this happens real fast. Like here, I'm going to squeeze the trigger right now. Little light comes on. It's already melting in. Then I'm going to give it a twist. Bang. Finger off the trigger. Let it cool for a second, because you don't want to pull the staple right back out. And that should be good. Bang. So there's one. Now you want to, you know, when you're doing this, guys, when you have this thing set up on a bench like I do, I have it to where there's no pressure. Like, it's not, the plastics aren't leaning on the part that is like flimsy. This piece over here, it's hanging off the edge of the bench. You know, some of you guys are like, duh, Matt, but, you know, some people are probably like, oh yeah, duh, that's a good idea. You know, all different forms of walks of life around here on this channel. All right, so now that that's starting to hold itself, guys, I'm going to transfer over to the other side now that this is held where I want it. And I'll flip this back over and I'll mess around and see how it wants to hold itself together better. So like now, I can already tell without even flipping it over. We're going to go ahead and put one right here now. So let me grab another staple. Get this loaded up in the gun. Give me 2 seconds here. If it'll go in. There we go. Okay, maybe not. There we go. All right. So now I'm going to go to this part right here, guys. We're going to keep working our way, at least on this particular one. It's working out better following the crack from where the end of it is back to where it started cracking. So go ahead and get this lined up real good and get it held in right about there. sometimes, guys, you can get it to line up a little bit better if you twist the fender a little bit. So, but putting my hand on the other side allows me to put pressure with the gun and hold it flat from the other end. So you guys will get a feel for it when you do something like this if you need to. Squeeze the trigger, it's already melting. And a little twist, bang. Let it cool off. And pull it out of the gun. Just like that. Alright guys, I'm going to put a few more in here and then I'll show you guys the finished product at the end. Stay tuned, we're almost done. Alrighty guys, so here it is. This is all the way, the whole stitch. So what you're going to want to do now is the dikes that come with this. You're going to want to clip off all these little pieces, all the little prongs that are still sticking out. Otherwise, I mean, because these are sharp, man. You'll cut your finger wide open if you're washing a quad, and if you're even one of those people that wash your quad. I don't really think too many people exist like that, because every quad I buy that's used is just filthy dirty. They don't even wash it to sell it. Anyway, topic for another day. You want to clip all these prongs off, and there's another step that I do, like after this, after I cut all these prongs off. And I use a wood burner. It's like I think I have another one here. Where is it? Yeah, hold on one second. I'll show you guys this. This is actually a plastic welding gun, this thing here. But you see that little, like the flat piece that's on the gun in the picture? I'll actually, you can get the wood burner and actually this plastic welding, this like iron, soldering iron looking thing here at Harbor Freight. I don't know about the plastic welding gun like that I just used on these, but I will turn that on and get it nice and hot and actually melt all the plastic all together, like, and cover the staples with its own plastic. But you know, it's not needed, but I don't know, I get carried away with stuff sometimes. But you guys remember how flimsy this was? Now this is like solid, nice and solid. I'm shaking, you know, not enough to rip shit apart, but it's just as structural as the other side. Here's the finished product on the outside, guys. I mean, you could tell that it was broken. Obviously, this is not, you know, a magic trick. It's not going to make your fenders look brand new, but that is definitely better than having some flimsy ass fenders. So before the video ends, guys, I'm going to clip all these prongs off, and I'll show you what it looks like after I go the extra step that I do that you don't need to do, but you know, I'll show it to you after I melt everything together. And I think it just locks the staples in a lot better too. They won't be exposed. So let me do that now, and then I'll piece you guys out. And guess what? I'm going to start making the next how-to video on the 250EX, which is we're going to change the rear diff oil, and I'll show you guys it's pretty much the same procedure, even though this is a 250EX for anything else that's shaft drive. Same basic shit. But anyway, all right, let me do what I just said, and then I'll show it to you guys, and I'll piece you guys out and start making the next video. All right, well, I'm letting this heat up, guys, and like I said, this is a step you do not have to take, but there's one thing I should definitely mention. When you're using the dikes to cut off those prongs, and yes, I know I left a little bit, and I'll explain why in a second. One, you can't get close enough with the dikes to cut them smooth anyway, so you know, when you're done with what I'm doing, melting like where all the staples are together, I'll take a die grinder with the air compressor with like a, you know, 40-80 grit little roll lock disc, and smooth the whole thing out, get rid of all them sharp edges, and it'll clean it all up. Yeah, you could do it now, but it doesn't really make sense because we're gonna melt stuff together anyway. But one thing to note, man, when you're cutting those little prongs, like those little things here, either I put a rag over my hand where the dikes are that I'm cutting, because these things, or wear some safety glasses. Obviously, it's, you know, safety third always. These things shoot off of there like a friggin' bullet, and they will bury themselves right in your eyeball. And believe me, if you're not protecting yourself, guess exactly where one of those are gonna go. Yes, right into your eye. So let me see if we got enough heat here with this thing, and see if we can start cleaning this up a little bit. So I'll just give you guys a quick little overview of what I try and accomplish here. So you can see how that looks. Obviously this might be hot enough. Yeah, it is. So I'll just melt all of this together and smooth it out. Like I said, it locks in the hot staples, and then after this cools off, when I'm done, I'll use the roll lock disc and clean up the whole seam with that. So let me go ahead and do this, and then I'll hit it with the die grinder, and then I'll show it to you guys one more time, and then we'll end the video. So here we are. All those little like the little pins from the hot staples are all ground down. I'm running my finger over this. I'm not gonna cut my finger. And then you guys saw me start melting it together. I took the roll lock disc and just cleaned it up all the way around, got all that stuff off of there, and that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, if you wanted to get even more carried away, you could melt it again and smooth it out a little bit. Or if for some reason your quad that you're working on was not a flip, you could also take the this little plastic welding soldering iron thing here. If you know you had a bunch of time on your hands and you want your quad to look absolutely mint like I normally do, you could even like melt this crack on the side that you see together and then sand it out all the way up to 1500 grit, and then polish your plastics out with like some compound and polish, and it would look like it's not even there if you did it good enough. But like I said, this is a flip quad and we're not doing all that. I just wanted to put the rigidity back to the fenders so it looks better, you know, instead of having a big crack down the side of it, because that would definitely have continued cracking. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check out the next one on the how-to with the 250EX flip. And if you don't know yet, I read and answer every single one of my comments. I do not just hit you with a thumbs up. Take time to comment. I take time to read it and answer you. If you have not yet, please do subscribe. We got all kinds of stuff going on. There's over 100 and something uploads already. If you guys just finding the channel, check them all out. Drop comments, man. You know, maybe there's something else there that can help you guys out, or you just like content like this. You know, you might not even have a quad, you just want to see shit like this get done. That's fine. No judgment here. Judgment free zone, guys. Totally, 100%. Most days, except for Tuesdays. What's today? Oh shit, it is Tuesday. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Thanks for watching.